All right, it's the last, probably the last nice day of fall here in Minnesota. 78 degrees. I think tomorrow it's gonna plummet. So I had to take this opportunity to show you the bike that started it all. It's not technically my first Harley, but it is the bike that started this whole thing, started everything. So I'm going to show it to you right here. There it is, the 2003 100th anniversary Road King Classic. That is the first bike that I ever rode, and I'm gonna tell you the story. We'll hop on the bike, I'll tell you the story, but just an absolutely beautiful bike. That paint scheme, I think there were two variations. There was a more silver variation of the 100th anniversary, and then the all black that has that 100th anniversary badge. Beautiful bike. It's actually my dad's bike, and he's basically kept it stock except for a few accoutrements. It does have some slip-ons. That's mostly because I crashed it once, but that's a whole other story. I don't have to go into that right now. That wasn't my fault. But he's kept it very, very true to form. It's an absolutely beautiful bike, and he's not allowed to sell it. I've told him that several times. This is gonna stay in the family. It doesn't get any more classic than a Road King Classic. It's just an absolute beautiful bike. So let's go jump on the bike, take it for a ride, and I will tell you the story of why I consider this my first Harley. Let's go. Here we go. All right. So the backstory for this bike is that this is my dad's first Harley, actually. And I was in college, and all of a sudden I was at home, and all of a sudden I hear a motorcycle pull up. Thought it was my uncle. My uncle's been riding Harleys for a long, long time. And go outside, and it's my dad. And I was like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I bought a bike. It's this 100th anniversary 2003 Road King Classic. You want to ride it? I was like, what? I had not ridden, I've done bicycles, like little tiny, like 150 dirt bikes. I had not really ridden a motorcycle before, so this is my first motorcycle that I ever rode, which was my dad's brand new Road King. And I got, he pulls it into the driveway and says, hey, why don't you take it for a ride? So I did. So my first real ride on a motorcycle was on this bike, and that's how it started. So I took it around the block a few times. He showed me how to shift, and I was instantly like, yep, I need one. I need a bike. So then I went and bought a 1982 Yamaha Virago 750. Rode that for a little while, and ended up getting a street bike. But this is the bike. This is the bike that started it all. And it's just such a beautiful bike. Very, very, very different from my 2024 Road Glide. Well, you get on this thing and you just feel like you're riding a tank. It feels so much heavier. But it's not built to be nimble. It's not built to do the twisties. This thing is built to tour, built to see the United States. bike feels so different than my 2024 road glide. I mean, they're just completely, you think about, you know, it's almost 20 years exactly. I mean, amount of technology and just how light it is. My bike compared to this bike, it feels so heavy. It doesn't want to turn, but it's beautiful. It's fun to ride still. I mean, any bike is fun to ride in its own way. And I've taken this bike actually went on my first road trip. So not only was this bike the first bike that I ever rode, the bike that started me getting into motorcycling. I don't know that there's a more perfect bike to do that than this a classic Harley Davidson. But then my dad also let me take it on my first big trip. And my friend Kyle at the time was riding, I think he had a Suzuki Boulevard. It was all set up for touring. So he was on the Suzuki, I was on the Road King, and we rode up to Duluth, and then went across Wisconsin, across the UP, across the Mackinac Bridge, down to Detroit. We saw baseball games in Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee, and then headed back to Minneapolis. And we actually did the second to last day. We were only supposed to do like 200 miles. We ended up doing close to 5 because it rained for the first 3 days on the trip, and the flooding was so massive that the Interstate 94 west of Milwaukee was closed. They were diverting traffic, and so we were weaving around trying to get around the flooding. But you know, it was despite the rain, it was an awesome trip. And after that, I knew I had to keep going. I also knew that I needed a different bike, the Yamaha Virago, not for touring. And this thing was so comfortable. And so I ended up getting a Street Bob for a while, which is a great bike. I kind of dialed it up for touring. And then after that, was on a Crossbones. Again, not really a touring bike, but I set it up, and it worked really well. And then got on the road glide train, and that's where I'm at now with the 2024. I had a 2019 road glide, and now I've got the 2024. Man, what a beautiful day! What a beautiful last day. This is the last day of riding. It's a good one, but it was just amazing. And I love this bike. My dad's not, like I said, my dad's not allowed to sell it, but it is so different. I mean, 21 years of development. My 2024 road glide is such a different machine, and it's better in every single way. This thing really doesn't want to turn very well. Not super fast, again, but it's not meant to be. It's not what it's designed to do. It's also not designed to be like a canyon carver. It's designed to do this cruise, and it does this really well. And it makes me appreciate the new bike that much more. That bike can do absolutely everything. Crank some floorboards, go long distances. It's light, it's fast. Oh, it's such a good bike. What I would like to do with this thing is I would like to get a sidecar. Get a sidecar rig, and then this kind of be that forever kind of grandpa vehicle. Take cousins, grandkids, whoever, go for rides in it. I think that it would be perfect for that. So I'm on the hunt. On the hunt for a sidecar. If anybody has a sidecar that can fit a 2003 Road King Classic, hit me up in the DM me, hit me up in the comments. Beautiful. I would love to get a sidecar for this. I think that would make this thing would be perfect. Perfect for a sidecar, perfect to expand the love of motorcycles to as many people as possible. So that's it. I'm gonna go take this back home. I didn't tell my dad I was taking this, so he doesn't know that I'm out here. So I'm gonna go drop this off at home at his house. Well, there we go. The 2003 100th anniversary Road King. The bike that started it all. It started the journey. Got me to where I am now. And it all started with that bad boy. So it's pretty incredible. Like I said, this bike is not allowed to leave the family, and hopefully something that we will pass on for generations to come. And it was a beautiful day to take it out for a ride and give you a little backstory of how I got started riding. It's all because of my dad, and all because of that. So till the next time, we'll catch you later.